Matt Aguilar here from Comic Book, and today I have the pleasure of speaking to WWE Superstar and best in the world, CM Punk. How are you?
I am lovely on this fine day. How are you?
I'm doing good, and of course, we got to add to that revival star as well to that introduction there. You have no shortage of experience with TV shows, and you've done some really cool parts in the past. With revival, it's always cool to see a project that starts from comics, make it to the screen. Were you familiar with the comic series kind of before joining the show, and
Oh
what do
yeah,
you think?
huge. Actually, huge. Yeah, big fan of the source material. And actually met Tim Seeley on set of a little movie I did a couple of years ago called Girl on the Third Floor. That's how long this has sort of been in development. I think a lot of people in the industry know. Like, takes a long time for stuff to get off the ground. And then a lot of the times it's a Hail Mary on whether it's good or true to the source material. I was in on Revival from the ground floor. Shout out to Challengers Comic Books in Chicago, Illinois, because they always steer me in the right direction when good stuff comes out. So yeah, I was excited to be considered way back when by Tim himself. And I think Aaron B. Kuntz too. I met that day, and they're talking about how they wanted me a part of the show, and I was like, man, that sounds awesome. And here we are, so many years later, it actually came to fruition.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can't beat the creator seal of approval there. It
Hmm.
makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And look, right now, on WWE programming, you've been on the heroic side of things, right? You've been on the good guy side of things. Anthony is not that that at all. What's it been like to has it been fun to kind of tap into that villainous side? Because obviously you've been a great heel over the years.
I think it's your perspective. Are the Czech brothers really bad guys? Are the Cypresses the bad ones? I don't know. It depends on what side of the barometer you lie on, I suppose. A fun character to play, definitely in a really fun world. Rural, snowy, cold Wisconsin is something I'm very familiar with. So it felt like I was just at home on set, and being the kind of the older brother ringleader of a group of less than scrupulous family members is definitely a fun thing to tackle.
Now, one thing I do want to get to a spoiler thing in a little bit that we'll publish after the episode airs. But for now, let's quickly divert real quick to what you've been having going on in WWE because obviously WrestleMania hit. That was one of those big epic twists. But it was very personal for you with Paul Heyman kind of double crossing in a way. He's been a longtime friend. Looking back on it now, especially where you are now, how do you look at that moment, Paul? All of that.
Well, it's not the first time Paul's double crossed me, so you figure I would learn my lesson by now. But I am one of those good guys who has a short term memory, apparently. No, but listen, everything I'm doing on screen, on television, wrestling wise now it's like extra credit. It's a dream come true. I feel like I don't know when the roller coaster ride ends for me. I want to squeeze as much out of it as I can. Being able to work with the top, talkers, wrestlers, minds in the industry is just rejuvenated me as a whole. So anytime I get to work with Paul, Roman, um, even Seth, um, guys like that, they tend to bring the best out of me, and in turn, I feel like I bring the best out of them. And it's been a trip. I am really enjoying everything I'm doing.
I gotta say, I feel like I could describe that for your Cena matchup as well, because we got Punk Life out of it, and you crafted a diss track that I feel like
Yes.
Metro Boomin needs to make a beat to. Like, we really need to get that full musical thing. How was putting that together? Like, was that a
It's been
trip?
it's been it's been talked about, not specifically with Metro Boomin, but now that you have invoked his name, I think we could possibly do something really really fun. Um, Go ahead. What was the question?
Oh no, how was that putting that together? Because look, you're no
Oh,
stranger to going off on the mic, but like, rap diss, you went in verse rhythm, all that stuff.
it was a lot of research. I watched a lot of John delivery. and his cadence and how he talked. I have a good friend of mine by the name of Jensen Karp, who is to me like battle rap masters, kind of what he does. So it was his lane. So I definitely leaned on him, and I was like, hey, this is what we're doing. I could do this myself, but it was really his wheelhouse. So I kind of handed the ball to him. He helped me greatly, along with another friend of ours, Ron. And just the genesis of the idea was everybody's expecting this pipe bomb two from me. And I'm not into delivering sequels to stuff that don't need sequels. So for 14 years, people have been chasing this moment and trying to replicate it, duplicate it, talk like me, sit like me. And I'm not so much into doing the same thing. It couldn't have, I couldn't even have followed myself. How's that for a supremely egotistical comment? So I want, everyone's expecting me to zig, so I zag. That was kind of the idea with it, and really just having fun. It was that entire week was pretty emotional for me, being the last time I was going to get to share a ring with John Cena, and I wanted to make it special and memorable. And I find that when I challenge myself and I put myself outside my comfort zone, that's when the best stuff happens. People are going to remember that, whether it's because of the delivery, the content, the way I was dressed, the atmosphere. I think it was a hell of a moment.
No, absolutely. And of course, now you are going to SummerSlam to face Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. What would a win for that title and also just against someone like Gunther mean for you at this point in your career?
Just getting able to lace up my boots and lock up with Gunther um, at this stage in my career is more important to me than anything. Winning, obviously, is the goal, be the cherry on top, but I'm surrounded every day by such talented people. And I don't think I have the time to be able to work with all of them, especially at the extent that I want to. So I'm not trying to do a speed run and just share a ring with everybody. But Gunther's on the top of the list of people that I look at as like they're not only the present, they're definitely the future of the business. Braun Breaker, Chad Gable, Damian Priest. There's all these guys that I look at and I'm like, oh man, I want to get in there with them, and I immediately start just cooking up ideas. But it means a lot. I know wrestling is very subjective. Everybody has their favorites. They have their people that they hate. Um, I'm kind of high on the list of everybody for either of those. But I just think like that means I'm good at my job. And to be 46 years old and still good at this job, I think is pretty commendable. So sometimes I like to give myself some flowers, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I know I need to let you go. So one thing I did mention before is I wanted to get into something that happened in this episode. This will be after the episode airs because you mentioned memorable. And
Mm.
deaths are always memorable. And boy, you got a little bit of a gruesome one here. What
Did you
was
see it?
like? I
Did you
did,
get eyes on it?
yes.
Okay, okay.
What
I
was
haven't
putting
seen
that
it.
together? Oh, I was gonna ask what you thought of the final project, but what was it like putting it together?
Putting it together was a blast. Romy is very, very. She's a small little person. So me being a wrestler and like this is kind of what I do. Like we have stunt people. She's Romy had a great stunt double. I had one and I was just like, no, we're not gonna use them. It's gonna be me and it's gonna be you. We're gonna make this, real. And sometimes in Hollywood, people don't like to be touched. They don't like to be hit.
Right.
And I was all for it. I was like, you got it. You're jumping on me. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna squeeze as hard as you can. I will not drop you. I'm gonna throw you around. So it's really fun putting that together because it really is like both of my worlds. It's the Hollywood and it's the wrestling, and there's a trust involved, and I adore her. So like I made a new friend that day, and the trust that she had in me, and likewise me and her. I think we delivered a pretty good scene. Now I haven't seen it yet. She tells me it's spectacular, so I'm patiently waiting to watch it, and I don't even think I'm going to get to watch it until next week because I watched the show with my
Oh,
wife, and we'll sit down and watch it together. But yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks fantastic from this very unexperienced person over here. It looks great. So,
Good.
congratulations on all the success, both on the screen and in the ring. And thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.